his pregame thoughts. When we come back, it's the Algona Bulldogs and Humboldt Wildcats on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
It's time to meet the starting lineup for the Algona Bulldogs.
Jacob Burns, freshman, number 4.
Burns clean up and he puts it in.
Jackson Eishen, junior, number 10.
In the corner, it's Eishen, lets it rip, and he finds the bottom of the net.
Nathan Mansky, sophomore, number 5.
Bulldogs to the basketball, it's Mansky. Mansky driving in, Mansky puts it up and he puts it in.
Evan Alley, junior, number 1.
Now corner to Alley, jab steps, now he steps back for the three-point try, and he sticks it! What a shot by Alley!
Ben Helmers, senior, number 3.
Helmers goes behind the back, goes to the rack and scored it! Ben Helmers putting on the handles!
Tip-off of your game is coming up next on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
That is the Algona starting lineup under the direction of fifth-year head coach Jared Cecil, a 63-46 record as the Algona High School boys coach. Meanwhile, for the Humboldt Wildcats and head coach Jason Firm, they come into this game 12-6 overall, 9-3 in the North Central Conference. Their starting 5 includes the 5'9 junior Jackson Flaherty, the 5'10 senior Cohen Matson, the 6' senior Elliott Carlson, 6'2 senior Jackson Dodd, and 5'11 senior Mason Van Pelt. Bulldogs 8-11 overall, Wildcats 12-6. Humboldt had a 9-game win streak. They lost back-to-back games against St. Edmund after that, but beat Iowa Falls Alden 91-52 on Friday night to rebound as the Wildcats look to sweep the season series over the Bulldogs. They've won 9 of the last 10 against Algona, including the past 3. Humboldt tonight wearing blue road uniforms, the script Humboldt on the front, yellow numerals on the front and back of the uniforms. Meanwhile, for Algona, it's the home white uniforms, the red Algona on the front, red numerals front and back outlined in gray, and the red stripes down the sides of the uniforms. Another big Tuesday night crowd here from Algona High School, checking out this Battle of Highway 169. As you can hear the band in the background right down beneath Greg Stewart and I. Well, Greg, anytime Algona and Humboldt match up, you know it's going to be a high-flying, fast-paced game, and you may see something that you've never seen before when these two teams battle.
We've seen some great ones over the years. Some games are just racehorse back and forth up and down the court. The last one down at Humboldt, we saw a very disciplined Algona team, especially in the second half, and really very efficient offensively. So you really never know, except you know it's going to be exciting because this is really a great rivalry between these two schools. As you mentioned, down 169, and the game rarely disappoints. There's always a lot of athletes on the floor. Both schools really have deep squads and a lot of athleticism on the court, so it's usually a very fun game.
Boy, that first matchup, rich in storylines, which we'll get into tonight. It's Dodd and Helmers at midcourt. Helmers controls the opening tip. Eishen collects the basketball, and Algona moves right to left on the radio dial. Bulldog offense scoring 58.6 points per game. Humboldt giving up 66.4, but Wildcats play games with a lot of possessions as they play fast as always. Helmers had his ball taken away immediately by Flaherty as Humboldt forces the early turnover. Wildcats have the possession right now. Here's Carlson bouncing the pass right side to Flaherty for this Wildcat offense that's ranked number 4 in Class 3A, over 74 points per game. Flaherty across the line, gets it out top, 3-point ball, Carlson. Carlson missed it left, fight for the rebound, it got tapped around, and Eishen comes out with the basketball for Algona. Outlets quick to the Helmers. Helmers on the wing, lets it rip, too strong on the 3, and Dodd boxes out Eishen for the rebound. And left the ball behind, it's rolling out of bounds. Algona basketball. Oh. Boy, a rare mistake there by Humboldt.
Yep.
Dodd just didn't see that the ball was rolling towards the boundary, he didn't pick it up, and it rolled out. Wildcats did touch it last as Mansky will inbound for Algona. Last matchup, of course, Humboldt won 73-65. Ben Helmers ejected in the first half of the game, but Nathan Mansky, who has the ball right now, scored 20 points in that one to almost lead an Algona comeback. Lost the basketball, but it went right to Alley. Bulldogs maintain possession. No score here, just about 1 minute into the first. Mansky works around the arc towards the left as he'll find Helmers. Now it's Burns over on the wing. Burns deals to Alley. Alley Thought about the three. He'll pass it up. He'll drive instead. Got all the way to the rack. And the rim is going to spit that one back out as it went around and out.
All right, Evan Alley has had some shots this year. You just wonder.
Van Pelt, quick trigger free, left it short, clean up by Flaherty. Flaherty put back up and in. Humboldt is on the board, and rebounding may be a big factor tonight. Humboldt, not a very sizable team, but boy, they fly around to the basketball.
Yeah, you got a big offensive board there.
Last three matchups between these teams, Humboldt's been plus 17, plus 26, and plus 17 in rebounding. They've had a big advantage in rebounding in their wins over Algona's. Helmers double teamed in the post. That ball got ripped out, and Humboldt runs. Flaherty drives to the bucket. Shot got blocked by the fouls. Mansky and Flaherty took a big collision down there on the baseline, and Flaherty a little slow getting up after that.
Shaking his left hand a little bit there. Perhaps wrapped that on the floor when he went down.
Yeah, it could have been an awkward landing there for Flaherty, who averages 9.5 per game for Humboldt, shooting 58% from the charity stripe. Humboldt has 4 players averaging 9.5 or more points per game, led by Elliot Carlson, who scores over 21 per. Had a 35-point game against Iowa Falls. Alden did Carlson as Flaherty knocks down the first free throw to make it 3-0 Humboldt. Wildcats at the stripe this year, 62.4%. As Flaherty missed on the second one a bit strong, and Eischen rips down the rebound for Algona. He'll clear it out to Burns, and the Bulldogs find themselves down 3-0 in quarter number 1, looking for that first bucket. Helmers pitter-patters the feet as he collects the ball and gets it off to Mansky. Around the arc towards the right and deals it out onto the wing to Burns. Now back over to Helmers, who's averaging 26 points per game. Driving in, getting stopped by the double team. Feeds Alley in the lane. Pumps, bounces it back outside to Helmers in the corner as he bobbles and collects. They'll force Helmers to the baseline. Helmers trying to tiptoe, and he stepped out. Boy, did Humboldt influence that possession. They gave Helmers the open baseline and then just took away his space defensively.
Yeah, Humboldt doing a nice job early on here defensively against Helmers. 3 turnovers on 3 possessions here for the Bulldogs.
Carlson for Humboldt, burst across half court, wearing the right knee brace. Driving in Carlson, missed on the shot off glass, and ripping away the rebound is Burns. You've got to force a lot of one-and-dones if you're Algona. Alley quickly sets for the three-pointer, he airballs it. Mansky saves it into Helmers low in the corner as the Bulldogs maintain possession. Helmers on the step back, trying to stay in front of Van Pelt, moving the feet quickly. Helmers throwing in a flurry of moves. Van Pelt is sticking with him, and Helmers will bring it back out to the top of the arc. Algona 21-20 against Humboldt dating back to 2007, but Humboldt has won 9 of the past 10 against Algona. That one Bulldog win being a playoff win a couple of years ago on the Bulldogs' path to state. Alley bounce pass corner to Burns, back into Alley, hits the spin move, floats it up, and he scores it. A 35-second possession there for Algona, took it all the way down to the end as Humboldt calls to Chase Flaherty on the bench. He'll replace Jackson Flaherty, who is still shaking that arm after being banged up earlier.
That was a pretty move by Evan Alley there to get that little jump shot from 5 feet. He had that layup earlier. They think, how on earth did that come out? Did everything but drop through the net, but collected that one.
Here come the Wildcats getting into the forecourt. They'll get a corner puck to the Dodd. Dodd three-pointer is well short. It's just grazed the rim. Bounced right back into the hands of Dodd, who followed his shot, though. And now Carlson for Humboldt has the rock. Algona actually outshot Humboldt on three-pointers in that near upset back on January 17th as the Bulldogs forced the turnover. Mansky runs the floor, got to the rack, spins it up and in.
Right, nice job switching over to the left side. Came back with the right hand on that left side, kind of a reverse layup. Nice job.
Bulldogs have their first lead. Mansky with 5 straight double-digit scoring games gives Algona the 4-3 lead. It's just a tap away out of bounds by Algona. Humboldt will keep it.
Well, the Bulldog defense, this zone defense, already given the Wildcats a little bit of trouble.
It did give them a few headaches in that opening matchup in this series back on January 17th. As here's a 3-point ball, in and out, no good as Matson can't knock it down. Rebound collected by Van Pelt, though, off as the board as he'll bring it back outside. Bounce pass to Carlson, top of the arc. Carlson drives, quickly pulls the trigger on the long two. That's no good, a little bit too strong, and Burns grabs the rebound for Algona. In the last matchup between these teams, Algona went 10 out of 20 on three-pointers. Humboldt just 6 of 20. For this Wildcat team that loves to shoot the three. Here's Burns working the right baseline. Burns powers off a tough shot, got blocked by Dodd. Alley can't follow it up and in as that was almost at a crazy angle. And now coming the other way is Matson for Humboldt. Matson, the 14-point per game scorer, tried to find Dodd, but the pass is out of bounds, thrown into the Algona bench.
Both teams playing with a little extra defensive energy here, and 6 turnovers, 3 each way here in the first 4 minutes of play.
Valley Davis off the bench for Humboldt as he will replace Jackson Dodd. Boy, did Davis give Humboldt some really good minutes in that first matchup. Scored 11 points, but a lot of rebounds in that game and a lot of hustle plays from him. as Mansky has it right wing for Algona. Left-hand dribble across the foul line, and there's a foul on Humboldt. Getting a little overzealous in their defense of Mansky, and that'll be foul number 1 on the Wildcats of this quarter. Max in the guilty party.
Official had a good angle at that. I noticed in the last possession, really a lot of hand checking, a lot of tagging going on there, and they did call it that time.
Helmers gets it into Eischen, top of the arc. 3:38 on the clock for Algona's. Eischen works the left-handed dribble onto the wing. Into Mansky, hits deep inside. In and out on the layup. Got his miss back. His turnaround off glass won't go. Third opportunity, he can't push it in. And a foul on the rebound. That'll go against Mansky as the point-blank misses continue for Algona.
Boy, that's incredible there. Nice effort by Mansky staying with it, but wow. Tough luck for the Bulldogs there on in-close shots, just refusing to go down.
And the bad news for Algona, that's foul number 2 on Nathan Mansky as the Bulldogs set up in the 2-2-1 and tripping and falling and blowing the tires. Flaherty, the ball got thrown to Algona's Burns. Finds Alley, pulls for the free. A little bit too strong. Van Pelt tracks down the rebound for Humboldt. Mason Van Pelt this season, 10.1 points per game, just under 5 rebounds for the Wildcats from the 5'11 senior. Flaherty for the Wildcats into the paint. Gets it out top of the arc to Carlson. Lets it rip. And free ball is short, but it jumps up and crawls in.
Hit the front of the rim. Just enough spin on it to climb up and fall through.
Carlson, a 35% three-point shooter. Humboldt came into this game having taken 473 point attempts so far this season. They're averaging about 26 threes per game as Eischen drives in. Left the right-hander short from right at the bucket. And now the Wildcats come the other way with Madsen. They'll find Davis. Davis passed through the lane, and that ball got kicked by Algona. Humboldt will keep it.
Man, oh man, Bulldogs leaving some golden opportunities behind. Missed 7 shots so far, right in tight to the basket.
And down 6-4 right now. Algona fortunate it's not by more at this point as Humboldt is still trying to get that jump shooting on track early in this game. Davis passed up the threes. Campy's in for Algona. Passes in the corner, fell out of bounds. And the Wildcats a little out of sync here offensively for turnovers.
Yeah, their defense sometimes can do that, to hurry up a little bit, and that's the 5th turnover in the Wildcats already.
Humboldt does average about 17 turnovers per game. Like we said, that number can be a bit inflated of how fast they play and how many possessions there are, but you can get them sometimes for stretches like this. Here is Burns working towards the right baseline. Now he's in the corner being blanketed by Carlson. Back out to Campy for Algona. Campy just under 4 points per game for the Bulldogs. Taking it down the lane. Ball got stripped by Flaherty, but it went right to Walker for Algona. Walker pivots and deals to Helmers with 7 on the shot clock, and Helmers has to get in creation mode here. Helmers, a deep three-pointer, and he rattles it in. 7-6 Algona.
I like the way he gathered himself and just put up a nice, easy shot, not hurried.
That was the 9th three-pointer of the season made by Ben Helmers as he jumped out near half court and went to the body of Flaherty for the foul.
Yeah, just a little bump there, knocked him off balance.
That foul will be the first personal on Helmers, the 3rd team foul on Algona, 1:47 left in the first, as the Bulldogs lead 7-6 here in this surprisingly tepid offensive start. We've seen several games. We saw an 89-85 game between these teams a couple of years ago, an 89-83 game. We saw Humboldt score 98 against the Bulldogs last year. Here's a three-point ball by Madsen, won't go. Walker had the rebound briefly, and it got knocked out of his hands. Davis touched it last for Humboldt as it went out of bounds. Wildcats, speaking of the three ball, beat Isle Falls Alden 91-52 on Friday night. They made 15 out of their 34 threes in that game. So far, it's been a polar opposite start for the Wildcats. Not only that, Humboldt only had 9 turnovers in that one, and they were plus 20 in rebounding. That's your pretty typical Humboldt game if it's going well. Helmer's baseline turnaround knocks it down. Boy, another tough shot by Ben Helmers, and Algona up 9-6, trying to find their footing offensively.
Pretty hard to defend something like that.
Helmers knocks away the pass, top of the key. Helmers drives in, rolls it up and in. Madsen backed off, he didn't want the and one, and a timeout is forced by Humboldt. 1:07 left in the first quarter, a 30-second timeout as Algona grabs an 11-6 lead. A 7-0 run by the Bulldogs, the first of many runs we're going to see today, Greg.
Well, that was a defensive effort both ways, and how fast both teams like to play. And opportunities like that, you know you're going to see some explosions one way or the other. The key is how do you react when that happens. And Coach Thurm called a quick timeout there because Algona's in the midst of one right now. Sometimes a timeout can be what breaks that. Get everybody to take a deep breath and realize what we need to do and take care of the ball here. But again, going back to that tip away by Helmers on top of that zone, a lot of length there again. And unless you anticipate that, all you need is a little tip. And as in that case, Helmers chase it down, and then it's all over. You have to choose whether you're going to foul him or just let him go. In that case, Humboldt let him go.
This is one of those rare games where if you're the team going against Algona, shooting earlier does seem to be better. I mean, the Wildcats, they don't usually love to work long possessions. Coach Firm talks a lot in the pregame about how we like quick shots, we like quick possessions. We want that up and down game to keep going and that momentum. But if Algona can force some either A, quick bad shots, or B, long possessions, that could both work out for the Bulldog defense. Carlson sidesteps, here's a three-point ball, and Carlson finds the bottom of the net. Two men went flying at him. He pump faked the first one and pulled the trigger on the second. That'll make it 11-9. Wildcat deficit back down to 2. Walker, make that Hampy, gets it out to Burns. Now around left to Halmers. Tries again on the 3. That one is short. Trickled off the front of the rim, and Van Pelt picks up the loose basketball in the lane. Shot clock now off. 29 on the game clock for Humboldt. This Wildcat offense who scores 70 points in 12 out of their 18 games so far this season. Pass return to Carlson up top. Carlson splits 2 defenders, deals towards Van Pelt in the corner with 19 seconds left. Van Pelt in the lane, getting down low, kicking it out top to Matson. Matson looking for Van Pelt again. It got thrown out of bounds. Van Pelt can't save it, and the Bulldogs get it back with 11 seconds left.
That is 7 turnovers on Wildcats here in the first quarter. Big part of Algona being able to have the lead here, to have a chance now with the last possession.
It all starts on the defensive end. 8 seconds left in the quarter. Campy up near the Bulldog logo at midcourt. Campy flings it over to Eischen. Now looking for Halmers with 2 seconds. Halmers on a sandwich. Halmers fades back. Did he get the shot off? It got blocked, and the quarter is over. Humboldt smothers Algona on that last possession, but Algona does get on a little run to get the lead by the end of the first. It's Algona 11 and Humboldt 9 on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
As we come back, it's 11-9 in favor of Algona right now. Second quarter underway. Humboldt has the basketball moving left to right on the radio dial. Carlson on the wing as the Bulldogs are flying around defensively right now. Flaherty for the ball up top. It's Jackson Flaherty returning to the ball game after getting banged up in the first quarter. Now Max on the wing for Humboldt. 17 on the shot clock as a wing it across to Flaherty. The Humboldt junior wearing jersey number 4, slicing in, floating, and missing off the back iron. Burns had the rebound briefly and able to track it down off the tip. Wildcats out of sync offensively to start this game as Bulldogs throw it up the floor. Nearly a steal by Davis, went diving under the floor, but Halmers kept the ball away from him. Cross-court feed to Burns. His free ball's a swish.
I like that decision by Helmers that time. A little bit of scramble for the ball, but saw Burns alone on the far wing. Nice skip pass.
14-9 right now, Algona. Here's Van Pelt trying to feed Davis, and he steals it over his head.
You know, Humboldt likes to play fast, but it's almost like the Bulldog defense, the pressure's got them a little bit hurried up. You want to play fast, but not out of control, and that's turnover number 8.
They've crossed that line as Alley throws an ill-advised pass. Flaherty intercepted it, intended for Burns. Runs the floor, took contact in the lane, and that'll be a foul. Flaherty never went into a shooting motion, though, so that is going to be on the floor. As 1 minute is gone here in the second quarter, Algona on top of Humboldt, 14-9. It is a race for second place right now in the North Central. Clear Lake has stayed undefeated in the conference. Humboldt and St. Edmund both have 3 conference losses right now as the pass into the lane towards Matson. Fights up the shot, and he drew the foul.
Oh, boy. Tough that time. Got the ball inside. Just kind of forced the shot up. Missed it, but Burns collects the foul.
Matson 72.4% from the charity stripe this season. A 14-point per game scorer for Humboldt to the free throw stripe as his first free throw's up, and that one will rattle and drop through. Still defensively for Algona, you have to be frenetic at the top of that 2-3 zone. Those guys have to run the Humboldt shooters off the 3-point line. They've done that tonight and try to funnel things inside to the paint where it's going to be crowded. Second free throw misses. Matson able to track down the rebound, but his foot was on the sideline. He is out of bounds, and Algona has the ball back. The Bulldogs, so far today, they've gotten 7 points by Ben Helmers as Helmers catches the inbounds pass. Had a 24-point game in that win over Hampton Dumont Cal, 70-58 on Friday night. Burns on the right wing, flings it across to Alley. Top of the arc for Algona, gets it left to Walker. Walker had 10 points last time these teams matched up in the absence of Helmers in the second half. 6:35 on the clock to Helmers on the wing. He'll shoot another three. He'll hit another three. 17-10 Algona. 2 threes in this game by Helmers. Flaherty will find Carlson top of the arc, searching for a shot. Sidearm, get it to Matson. Matson pulls the trigger and knocks it down. Cohen Matson from downtown.
That big answer by Matson.
Matson 4 points tonight. Humboldt letting it fly from 3-point range. As the bucket is towards the left, Bulldogs have the ball. Alley on the wing for Algona. Skids it into the lane to Burns. He turns around, knocks down a tough shot. 19-13 Bulldogs on the Jacob Burns jumper. Not an easy make there. Flaherty slicing in. He'll get it outside to Matson. Pursued all the way around by Walker. Top of the arc, Van Pelt. Squares for a three and swishes it. Humboldt starting to find that long-range shot, and it's down to 19-16. Bulldog lead at 3 points as Van Pelt has his first tray of the night. Here is Burns with the answer. Count it! Burns from downtown, and it's 22-16.
Here we go, fans.
This is one of those big runs. The back and forth between Algona and Humboldt as Flaherty lost the basketball. And a hustle play by Carlson to save it. Finds Davis underneath, missed the shot. Got his miss back on the left side and put it up and in. 22-18. Bulldogs had 2 players go for the block that time, and once Davis missed it, no one was able to get a body on him to collect that loose rebound. 22-18 now in favor of Algona. Burns knocking down the three-pointer for the Bulldogs. He has 8 points so far tonight. Drive by Walker, pass across the lane, tipped away by Van Pelt into the hands of Davis as Humboldt forces a turnover. Flaherty out to Matson. Humboldt shooting 34.5% on three-point balls this year. Started cold, but have knocked down their past couple. With 4:51 on the clock. Flaherty across the foul line, feeds into Davis, intercepted by Alley, who got in front. Alley across the timeline for Algona. Hesitates and lets his teammates catch up as he'll lob it over to Helmers. Back to the right to Alley, now corner pocket to Walker. In the lane, Helmers. Helmers working towards the middle of the paint. Shoots with the left hand, makes that shot. Ben Helmers is lethal going to his left side, and it's 24-18 Bulldogs.
Bulldogs are 5 for 5 from the field here in the second quarter.
After leaving a lot of opportunities out there in the first. Matson three, that one rims out. Alley snatches down the rebound for Algona. Alley across the Bulldog logo at midcourt. Averaging just under 9 points per game for Algona this season as the Bulldogs lead 24-18. Alley on the left wing now. Coming over to defend is Matson, passing the lane to Walker, looking out top to Burns, back over to Alley left side. Alley steps back, deep free from the corner, and it's off the back iron. Icing off of the board, and it'll get out to Helmers. Helmers will shoot the three, and that is off the back iron as Flaherty races in for the Humboldt board. Algona's really sticking with Humboldt rebounding-wise tonight, which has been a key in this 24-18 lead. The pass in the lane to Davis. Davis lays it up. He drew the foul, and he put it down. What a find by Mason Van Pelt.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice pass. He was slipping inside that time, and Aishan just reached down and tried to stop the shot. Nice job by Davis of getting that shot up off the glass.
Mansky and Campy enter for Algona. Walker and Aishan go to the bench as Davis will try to finish off the three-point play. Davis, 48% of the foul line this season, averaging 6.6 points, 5.1 rebounds for the Wildcats. Rattles that one in, and it's 24-21. Dodd will enter the ballgame as Davis heads to the Pine. This is the thing when you're playing Humboldt. You can go on a big run like Algona just did. You can have some momentum in the crowd behind you, but if you relax even for a second, all of a sudden the Wildcats are right back into it. As Burns has the ball right now, getting a corner pocket to Helmers with 3:37 left in the quarter. Algona up 24-21. Bulldogs working around the arc, right side to Campy. Back out to Mansky, who pops out to the top of the key. Campy on the right wing now for the basketball. One dribble for the left hand and gets it over to Alley. Rotates it left to Mansky. In the lane to Helmers. Left block. Helmers bumping inside. Can't miss or can't make that shot. There was a foul though on the loose basketball, and they're going to say Helmers drew that foul. 2 free throws here by Helmers as Dodd picked that one up for Humboldt.
Dodd just trying to help from behind that time. Got him on the back.
Helmers to the free throw stripe. He has increased his percentage to 62% on the year. There was a time in the first half where Helmers was sitting below 50% from the free throw line, but boy, in the month of January and February, that free throw shooting has really ticked up as he knocks the first one down. 13 points for Helmers on a 25-21 Algona lead. The Bulldogs senior second free throw is good as well. 26-21 Algona with 3:18 left in the first half. I'll go to get into the foul line a little bit more today, too. Bulldogs only attempted 2 free throws last time these teams matched up. Humboldt in that game went 13 out of 15 from the free throw line. Flaherty on the left wing. That being Chase Flaherty, who's back in, finds Matson. Matson from straight down the barrel. Knocks in the free to make it 26-24.
Both teams with 3 3-point baskets here this quarter.
And Burns almost spun right into Flaherty, and timeout by Algona. Wise timeout there. Flaherty picked up Burns just inside of half court. Burns spun right into him where Flaherty had a chance to get that ball, and then Burns almost threw it away. And Coach Cecil said, let's get organized here, and let's keep this lead. 2:52 remaining in the first half as Algona on top by 2 right now against Humboldt. And this is slowly starting to turn into the game we kind of expect between these two teams. Both teams struggled offensively at the outset. Bulldogs struggling shooting-wise. Humboldt struggling with turnovers, but both teams have improved those respective categories here in the second.
Yeah, they really have. Bulldogs right now 3 out of 5 outside the arc. The Wildcats 3 out of 4. So they're both shooting over 50% from outside the arc. And overall, Humboldt 5 out of 8 from the field. The Bulldogs 5 out of 8 also. So, pretty efficient offenses here in the second quarter, both ways. Turnovers, surprisingly, Humboldt already up to 10 turnovers, Bulldogs at 5.
Yeah, turnovers have been a big story so far in this ball game as Algona leads at 26-24. Mansky, the inbounder for the Bulldogs right now, gets it into Eischen. Bucket is towards the left, and Flaherty snuck in there and stole it away. Bulldogs got lazy for the pass that time. Carlson back out to Flaherty, lets it rip, hits the 3-point shot.
They are 4 out of 5 from outside the arc. What a job by Flaherty there.
Well, Chase Flaherty made the great defensive play, and he got rewarded with the basketball in his hands on a 3-point shot. Humbled up by 1 as the pass trickles in between the hands of Burns and out of bounds. Bulldogs can't control that possession, and the Wildcats get it back.
Well, back-to-back turnovers, as I mentioned. The Wildcats with 10 turnovers, the Bulldogs all of a sudden up to 7.
Well, I mentioned during the girls' game, 2:25 can go by quickly as the free ball by Matson's in and out. Fight for the rebound. Dawn has it middle of the paint, and that's going to be a tie-up. Possession arrow is going to be towards Algona. Here in the boys' game with 2:21 left, both teams could still have a lot of possessions here in the first half, so either side could really go on a run here. Campy will check out of the ball game, and Alley will check in. As Humboldt, who has trailed pretty much this whole second quarter, has taken the 27-26 lead. Algona led by 6 at one point, as Mansky gets it over to right to Burns. Now Alley deep on the wing. Has Matson in his face, takes one dribble, returns the ball to Mansky, the Bulldog logo. Moves it quickly to left to Burns. Now to Helmers in the lane. Jump stopping, shooting and scoring. Helmers in the paint. 16 points tonight in total, and he has the Bulldogs up 28-27. But he is lethal from the paint when he finds a way to face the bucket. Bounce pass to Dodd, into the lane of Van Pelt. Tries to get it to Carlson, got the men to jump. Shot got blocked by Eischen though. Mansky outlets towards Alley, catches it on one bounce. Alley takes it into the lane, now brings it back out to Helmers. On the wing, he'll shoot another free. That one is an air ball and it'll go back out of bounds. Helmers is starting to like that 3-point shot here. He knocked down a couple of early ones, but I think Humboldt will take a 3-point shot by Helmers rather than him working to the lane to try to work some of that artistry we see on a night-to-night basis.
Yeah, absolutely. Helmers has taken 6 3-point shots here in the first half, made a couple.
Here's Van Pelt in the high post, fumbling with the ball and getting it outside to Matson. If 1:27 left in the first half, it's a 1-point Algona lead right now. Flaherty on the left wing gets it to Van Pelt in the high post, looking underneath, nothing there as he sets himself above the dribble. Out to Matson. Matson pulls for a free and he swished it.
Boy, that's what makes the Wildcats so dangerous. They can sneak behind you. You've got to cover up the baseline, and then somebody's open on the perimeter.
10 points by Cohen Matson, 30-28 in favor of Humboldt. Hammer's left wing has Flaherty in his face. Now it's Alley. Alley left elbow. He turns for a jumper, but it won't go. And Dodd controls the rebound for Humboldt. 54 seconds left in the quarter. And make that Carlson controls the rebound for Humboldt. As now it'll be Matson here getting the basketball. Matson up top. The 2 free zone defense picks him up out high. Around the arc towards Flaherty. Drives in baseline into the lane to the cutting Van Pelt. Got to the rack and he scored it. 32-28 Humboldt as Van Pelt continues to bring the Wildcat energy, moving without the ball. Alley maneuvering his way into the lane, threads the pass to Eischen, out to Helmers. Helmers left wing tray. Helmers swishes it. His 3rd free of the night. Back down to a 1-point game, 32-31 Humboldt. Helmers is 1 point away from 500 for the season now. He has 19 points tonight. Flaherty, top of the arc, got Helmers to jump by him, and he gets the ball to Carlson. Shot clock off, 12 from the game clock as Humboldt almost threw it into the backcourt. Matson had the ball poked away. Helmers is able to peel it out. 5 seconds left, and a tie-up is forced. Possession arrow towards Humboldt. as Helmers, with the floor burn that time, dove in there to force the tie out.
Yeah, hats off to Ben Helmers there for really extra effort there, diving on the floor to tie that up. Humboldt gets the ball back, but you flip the arrow, so now you're going to come out the second half with the ball.
Wildcats get the ball inbound to Van Pelt with 4 seconds. Van Pelt from way downtown. Free ball's airballed. Walker full court heave will come up well short, and the first half is over. A classic first half between Algona and Humboldt. Back and forth these two teams go in the Battle of Highway 169. It's Humboldt on top of Algona, 32-31 on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Binkin at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
Time right now at Algona High School as the Humboldt Wildcats lead the Algona Bulldogs 32-31 in the Battle of Highway 169. This game has not disappointed so far. Multiple lead changes, some runs on both sides, and a very intriguing first half of basketball action. It was a tepid start in the first quarter offensively. Algona led after one, 11-9 over the Wildcats, but second quarter, very explosive. Humboldt outscored the Bulldogs 23-20 in quarter number 2. Individually, Ben Helmers leads the way for Algona with 19 points. Jacob Burns has also added 8. For Humboldt, Cohen Matson in double figures. He leads the way for the Wildcats with 10 points so far in this one. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Greg Stewart. Greg, the first quarter and second quarter felt like 2 totally different games, but once these teams settle into the ball game, we're really seeing some good, fast-paced basketball action. And despite the higher scoring, I'm still impressed with what the Bulldogs have done defensively in this game. Really forced a lot of turnovers by the Wildcats in half number 1, and offensively, the Bulldogs were able to execute. They got the ball inside the paint quite a bit and were able to score from that area. So a couple things to like for Algona, but they certainly have to keep their intensity at 100% in the second half to keep up Humboldt.
Sometimes you see one half being completely different from the other half. Once in a while, like tonight, you see one quarter being completely different than the first. That first quarter, both teams really kind of struggled a little bit. Algona had a couple opportunities. Evan Alley down close and had balls almost inexplicably not go down. Another possession, they have Mansky getting his own rebound twice and getting none of the 3 shots to fall down. So the Bulldogs had some key misses there. But Humboldt, on the other end of the court, made only 3 out of 10 shots in the first quarter. Both teams really kind of struggling to find a rhythm. The Wildcats, I mentioned, had turned it over 7 times also in that first quarter. But then the second quarter, things started heating up. Both teams shooting over 50% from the field. The Bulldogs 7 out of 12 in that second quarter, and Humboldt 8 out of 14, and that included hitting 5 out of 8 from outside the arc. So Humboldt really started getting a lot more efficient, but the Bulldogs, give them credit, the defensive energy is still there, and doing a nice job themselves of moving the ball around and shooting very well. As I mentioned, 7 out of 12. They hit 4 out of 7 from outside the arc in that second quarter. So kind of the, again, the competitive game that you'd expect to see between these two teams. And it'll be a matter in the second half who can outlast the other, who can withstand little mini runs from the other, because they're going to come.
It is going to be a war of attrition in the second half, which is going to make this game so fascinating. And revenge is a little bit on Algona's mind. Obviously, it's not hard to get up for this game on either side of the battle of High 169, but the Bulldogs were definitely feeling a little salty about the way the first game went, especially with the whole scenario surrounding Ben Helmer's ejection in the first half. In spite of that ejection, that second half against Humboldt, the first time they matched up, was a really good half basketball play by Algona, but in the back of their head, they're thinking, man, if only we had Ben in the second half of that game, we would have had a real chance to win that. Well, we've got a chance to prove it here in the second half today, but this Humboldt team, they're getting on track offensively, and you'd like to see the Bulldogs get another long stretch defensively where they force Humboldt to cool off, force some turnovers, because you wonder if the Bulldogs can win a track meet against Humboldt, especially with the Wildcat balance on offense. A lot of different guys who can shoot the three, whereas the Bulldogs, we've talked a lot. How long can Ben Helmer's legs last in the second half? How much he takes on offensively? So I think those are all interesting storylines to watch as the second half starts to develop.
There's a ton of energy being expended on the court, and if you're going to play defense the way the Algona Bulldogs are playing it, boy, you've got to be in shape, because there's a lot of movement trying to cover up that three-point arc, and that's probably going to be a key in the second half. Humboldt did a nice job, especially in the second quarter, of getting some penetration and then flipping it back out to the arc, and it's just stretching the defense a little bit too far. Couldn't get them covered up, and boy, can they make you pay. But historically, there's a lot of respect between these two teams, these two programs. Even go beyond basketball. On the football field, they've had some really great battles in recent years. Baseball, track, whatever the sport is, these are two very like-sized schools, and two very talented rosters. Usually a lot of athletes out there, like I said, and it's going to take a lot of energy, but as I mentioned, whoever gets on a little mini run, how are you going to respond? Because very likely that one is going to come one way or the other. Humboldt really confident in three-point shooting. Right now, 7 out of 15 there in that first half, which, it is right about on their average, just a hair under 50%, which is great. And they've got a number of shooters, which really makes them dangerous and puts a lot of pressure on the defense, but a lot of pride in this Bulldog defense, and the energy, I'm sure, is going to stay up there.
It certainly will. Well, similar size, similar geography between these two schools, and a similar score right now. Humboldt 32, Algona 31. 2 minutes to go to the second half, and we step aside for one more timeout on Home Country Radio, KLGZ, and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube stream.
More Sports Club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service. You've got to go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Binkin at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
And just about ready to begin the second half from Algona High School as the Humboldt Wildcats lead the Algona Bulldogs 32-31. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Greg Stewart. Greg, I go back to a metaphor that Coach Cecil used the first time these teams matched up at halftime, and he told his team against Humboldt, you can't just sit in the corner and take body blows. You've got to throw some of your own. Well, in this first half, it's been a prize fight. Algona's certainly taken some body blows, but they've also given some as well in the first half, and obviously you've got to try to stay out of the corner here in half number 2.
Yeah. This possession, courtesy of Ben Helmers, diving on the floor with 4 seconds left in that first half.
It's trying to win on the margins, like you said, those hustle plays, that can make a difference in this game on both sides. As Algona has the ball right now, we've got a whistle and I believe 3-second call inside against Algona.
I think it might be an illegal screen. They're going to call on Eischen.
And they did. They got him for the illegal screen, so that's his second personal foul. First team foul, obviously, for the Bulldogs this quarter as Humboldt nearly turned it over right there, getting it up at the court. Carlson finds Dodd. Dodd back to the bucket, outside to Madsen, but Alley intercepts. Alley runs the floor with a burst of speed, gets to the bucket, drew contact, and almost put it down. Alley will shoot 2 free throws as he nearly had an and one with Flaherty, the guilty party.
Yeah, very close there. He tried to shield the shot with his body a little bit and did that, but just unable to get it off the glass. Kind of dribbled across the back of the iron there.
And you can see when Evan Alley gets in a fast break, he's trying to measure the speed. How much do I really want to slam on the accelerator? Because you slam it to 100% and he's going through that padded wall along the baseline. So trying to measure how fast of an approach do I want to make. Missed on the first free throw. Second one, that one misses left. And Van Pelt there for the rebound. He'll get the ball to Madsen, who had 10 points in the first half of the Wildcats. Corner to Dodd now. 32-31 in favor of Humboldt. Wildcats have won 9 of their last 10 against the Bulldogs, including the past 3 is up top. It's Madsen bouncing the pass to Van Pelt, who had an active first half. Right back to Madsen as Helmers and Alley play at the top of that 2-3. Into the corner it goes, driving baseline. Flaherty, he'll find Van Pelt with 10 on the shot clock. In the lane, Van Pelt trying to lower his shoulder, shoots over Eischen. Eischen blocked the shot. Ball's out of bounds, and the Bulldogs get it back. Nice defensive possession for Algona that time. They took it all the way down towards the end of the shot clock, which the Wildcats don't normally like to do, and Eischen got the block shot. And they confer, and Algona does have the basketball right now as the ball gets inbounded to Alley. Flaherty will shadow in the backcourt as we'll get it over to Mansky now. Mansky across the half-court line, averaging about 9 points and 6 rebounds per game for the Bulldogs. Eischen to Helmers. Helmers going to work. He fades back over Van Pelt and can't stick the jumper. Boxed out by Carlson for the rebound.
Forced him really deep with that shot.
Clears the ball out to Madsen. Madsen corner to Van Pelt, and Van Pelt swishes a corner free from the right side. 35-31 Humboldt. Van Pelt's a 34% three-point shooter this year, so 1 through 5, just about everyone on Humboldt can shoot, which is no surprise. Alley into the lane. Alley working all the way inside. Shot got tipped on the way up, knocked out of bounds. Mansky touched it last, and Humboldt gets it back.
A tough break there. Bulldogs had a couple of good opportunities and unable to score. Wildcats, so now up to 50% from outside the arc, 8 out of 16.
Wildcats get the ball across half court. They thread the ball into the lane. Running and scoring is Carlson off the feed by Jackson Flaherty. Flaherty, the team's assist leader this year, over 3 per game, picks up 1 there, and Humboldt up by 6. Driving in Mansky, and they will wave that shot off. Push on the play by the Wildcats. Their second foul. It'll go against Carlson this time, his first personal.
Nice drive by Mansky. Unfortunate the basket didn't count.
And Mansky will inbound from the far side baseline. Lobs it into Helmers, tipped away by Van Pelt. Great job playing defense there, like a defensive back against the wide receiver Helmers. Flaherty into the corner to Dodd. 2 minutes gone in the third quarter as Algona looks for their first bucket. It's 37-31 Humboldt. Madsen works left of the paint, brings it back outside beyond the arc with 18 on the shot clock. Feeds Dodd in the corner. Dodd got wide open. Dodd cans the three-point ball.
Yeah, they're over 50%.
And a timeout is forced. 40-31 Humboldt. Coach Cecil takes the timeout, sensing this could be a dangerous time for Algona of how quickly Humboldt can pile up the points. It'll be a 60-second timeout. We'll take it with Coach Cecil. It's Humboldt by 9 on KLGZ 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Nutrient Ag Solutions of Irvington and Laverne for all your crop input needs.
Erpelding Boyd & Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
All bringing you this ball game.
Welcome back inside the Algona High School Gymnasium, where Humboldt has scored the first 8 points coming out of halftime. The Wildcats lead the Bulldogs 40-31. On Friday night when Humboldt played Iowa Falls Alton, they had a big second half in that ball game, outscoring the Cadets 53-25 after intermission, trying to follow the same formula today against Algona. Bulldogs have had a couple of opportunities to score, but haven't been able to do it so far in half number 2. Allie with the inbounder as Flaherty guards. Lobbed into Mansky, and we are rolling here. 5:40 on the clock in quarter number 3. Mansky across the half-court line, guarded by Carlson. Works his way towards the right as he feeds Ben Helmers for his 19 first-half points. Helmers driving it along the baseline, trying to find Mansky in the corner. The good help defense, though, by Humboldt to knock the ball out of bounds. Helmers and the Bulldogs will keep possession here as Humboldt touched it last, and Mansky will be the inbounder. Mansky from the baseline, guarded by Carlson. Carlson had the 30 points for Humboldt last time these teams matched up as the ball inbounded cleanly to Burns. Now right wing to Alley. 18 on the shot clock for the Bulldogs. Eischen screens. Alley hits the spin move, gets inside. Shot clock erased by Carlson. He met Alley at the top. And now the Wildcats go the other way of Flaherty. Flaherty on the gas pedal, drives down the lane, took it right down Main Street and scored. 42-31. We're always worried about Humboldt pulling for 3, and Bulldogs throw it away now. Alley threw it behind his intended target. Helmers out of bounds.
Well, here's one of those times we were talking about at halftime. Wildcats gone on a little bit of a run, and how are the Bulldogs going to respond? Because you're not out of the ball game, certainly.
Yeah, the body blows are coming. You've got to find your way to get out of the corner right now if you're Algona. Flaherty, pass, got knocked out by Burns. Almost had the steal there, but he couldn't control it as Humboldt will keep it.
Just been some little breaks going bad. The Bulldogs had a couple of good opportunities to score. Didn't go down, but you got to fight your way back in.
Inbound to the corner to Dodd. Dodd buries another three-point ball.
Boy, the Wildcats 5 out of 6 from the floor, 3 of 3 behind the arc.
Dodd had 0 points in the first half. He has knocked down 2 3-pointers to start the second half. And just like that, 45-31 Humboldt. Wildcats are the first 13 points of the quarter. 4:31 on the clock. Sidestepping is Burns. Burns tray. Burns swished it.
There's a freshman with a big answer. Gaining confidence, certainly he's nice, has a nice shot.
Creating his own shot, he has 11 points. 45-34, 3 the other way. Carlson off to the right, ball got tipped out, and it goes to Eischen. Fast break for the Bulldogs. Eischen to the trailing Helmers. Helmers, 3-point look, off glass, no good. Ball deflects out to Alley on the long rebound. Feeds Mansky in the high post. Pursued by Flaherty, we'll give it to Burns. Burns shaking loose for a 3, left it short, and Van Pelt boxes out for the rebound. Well, the 13-0 run is over, but Dodd passes outside to Flaherty. Bulldogs down 45-34. Here is Matson. Matson cues up a 3, rolls off the rim. Dodd offensive rebound for Humboldt. Dodd looking out to Carlson, got poked away by Alley, and Eischen steals it. Lobs it to Helmers. Helmers against Carlson. Carlson sails by, and Helmers sets it in.
Nice job by Helmers, looking over his shoulder, see where the defender was. Just a little hesitation. Let him fly by.
Helmers over 500 points in the season now for Algona. It's 45-36 Humboldt. Bulldogs trying to overcome a 3.5-minute scoreless stretch to start the quarter as Dodd rainbows in a 3 from the baseline. Or a long 2, from the baseline. Mid-range 2 there for Dodd as it's 47-36. But for Carlson, Alley took a little contact there as he got the ball to Burns. Down to the baseline, pass in the lane, intercepted by Carlson as Alley couldn't get that ball into the corner. 47-36 Wildcats. Carlson of 10 points. Down the lane, pass goes off the foot of Eischen. Humboldt will keep it here on the kickball by Algona as Walker enters the ball game in place of Alley right now. For Humboldt, it'll be Jackson Flaherty heading to the bench and Chase Flaherty coming in. Valley Davis will replace Jackson Dodd, who had an electric start to this second half. 2:58 remaining in the third. Into Van Pelt. Finds the curling Davis down the lane. Passes corner pocket. Matson free ball. And it rims out. Davis offensive board. He puts it back and he draws the foul. Valley Davis once again giving the Bulldogs headaches on the glass, and he'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, that's been the thing right now. Humboldt got out such a hot start here in the second half. And now the last couple of possessions have missed the shots but got the offensive glass.
And that free throw rattles around and drops off no good. It's the third personal foul on Nathan Mansky. That's been the overlooked area where Humboldt's really dominated Algona the past few meetings, is rebounding. And that's an area where Algona was pretty on par with Humboldt in the first half, but here in the second half, rebounding advantage has gone towards Humboldt. Walker nearly traveled in the backcourt, right in front of the Humboldt bench where Coach Firm was trying to help out the officials of a traveling call, but the officials did not abide. 2:39 left in the third, 48-36 Wildcats. Burns gets it out to Mansky, top of the arc, guarded by Carlson. Pass into traffic, caught by Helmers. Helmers trying to face the bucket, puts up a tough left-handed shot and drew the blocking foul. My goodness, how Helmers found a way to just face the bucket there and somehow flick that shot up with the left hand underhanded is amazing in itself.
Yeah, absolutely it was, but that's one of the things that Ben Helmer's always done so well. He gets the ball deep and really doesn't make any difference how many defenders are on him. He'll find a way to wiggle around and get a shot up.
Converts on the first free throw. 11-point game right now, 47-30. Make that 48-37 as the second free throw. Off the rim, no good, and Van Pelt controls the rebound. Out down the court towards Flaherty, who got undercut that time by Burns. Humboldt hustled that ball quickly down the floor, as they tend to do, and the foul picked up by Algona. Burns' third personal. So right now you've got Mansky at 3, Burns at 3. Both those two have to be smart here for the final 2:24 of this third quarter, as Burns will actually head to the bench now. Can't be into the ball game for Algona. Carlson gets it to Flaherty on the wing for Humboldt. Flaherty with a couple dribbles towards the baseline. Gets turned back into the corner for the Wildcats. Around to Carlson. Right wing to Matson now with 2:13 left in the quarter. Helmers trying to funnel Matson towards the right corner. Bounce pass up top to Flaherty. Flaherty back into the corner to Matson. Down low to Davis. Davis barreling his way inside, pump faking, up and under. Powered that up. Missed the shot though. Everything besides the finish for Davis, who put on a flurry of moves. Bulldogs down by 11. Here's Helmers working on the wing. Into the paint goes Helmers, and now back it out and hit the spin move. Helmers shovels it out to Walker. Walker catch and release tray off the front of the cup. Mansky offensive board. Mansky turnaround Jay, missed it right. Rebound controlled by Flaherty for Humboldt. And Flaherty finds Davis, and he'll get it across half court to Carlson. Carlson denied of the paint. Pivots around 360 twice and returns the ball outside to Flaherty with 1:31 left in the third quarter. Carlson and Flaherty go back and forth. Now bounce pass right side to Matson. Matson uncorks the three, left it way short, and Eischen there for the rebound. Outlets to Helmers with 1:20 left in the quarter. Helmers driving in. Helmers got all the way inside, missed the shot, followed his own miss and scored. Back down to single digits now, 48-39. Give Helmers 24 so far tonight. Matson to Van Pelt in the high post. Shovels it out to Flaherty. Catch and shoot three, and Flaherty buries it. Big shot for Humboldt to answer back and make it 51-39. If Flaherty 6 tonight off the bench. 50 seconds remaining in the quarter as Walker getting tied up with Flaherty. Flaherty took it away. He runs the floor, checks the rearview mirror, lost the ball, got it back, and he traveled on the play.
Well, that right in front of Coach Cecil there, he thought Algona had been fouled. Matter of fact, Campy just kind of gave up on the ball, but they got the steal, but no harm. They traveled at the other end.
So Algona has the ball back as Mansky spins away from the pass-string defense of Carlson. Finds Campy left of the paint. Campy trying to force his way inside. Foul on the floor against Humboldt. Their fourth foul of the quarter with 31 seconds remaining. Algona could have the last shot if they want, but here you're ideally trying to open up an easy shot off the inbounds play. If you can't get that, maybe you bring it back out. Mansky and Eischen on the right block. Davis a good defense. Eischen bumping with him. Eischen fading back and scoring.
Nice job by Eischen, taking a couple of bumps there, waiting for a good opportunity to go up for the shot.
Physical play underneath of him and Davis. Eischen of his first two. 10-point Humboldt lead. 16 seconds left of the quarter as Flaherty will turn and burn a little clock here at the edge of the Bulldog logo at half court. 9 seconds left of the quarter. Flaherty will give it off to Madsen. Madsen getting poked at by Helmers with 4 seconds. Gets the corner to Flaherty. He got wide open. Flaherty 3. He knocks it down and drew the foul at the very end of the quarter. A chance for a 4-point play by Chase Flaherty. Boy, is that a bad break for Algona. Bulldogs are late rotating over to Flaherty on defense. When they got there, they fouled him, and he knocked down the 3-point shot.
Now that's just huge. Just a backbreaker there. Bulldogs had clawed back within 10, and now perhaps going to be 14.
And a free throw in and out. It'll stay at 13. But the free ball by Flaherty before the end of the quarter gives Humboldt a 54-41 lead here on Home Country Radio KLGZ and the AHS Broadcasting YouTube live stream.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Nutrient Ag Solutions of Irvington and Laverne for all your crop input needs.
Erpelding Voigt & Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
All bringing you this ball game.
Back here in Algona, Iowa for the Battle of Highway 169. Humboldt's trying to pull away as the Wildcats lead the Bulldogs 54-41 heading to the fourth. Wildcats outscored Algona 22-10 in the third quarter, in part because of that 13-0 run to begin the quarter by Humboldt to create some separation from the Bulldogs. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Greg Stewart. And Greg, if you're a Bulldog fan, you're hoping that 13-0 run doesn't come to define this game. Bulldogs have an uphill battle to work back into it against a hot-shooting Humboldt team. But the thing is, you started that quarter 3.5 minutes without getting a bucket and 3.5 minutes without scoring against a team explosive as Humboldt. That's asking for trouble, and that's why the Bulldogs find themselves down here heading into the fourth.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And Humboldt gets possession coming out here at the end of the quarter. But for Algona, you have to realize you can't make up the deficit in 30 seconds. It's got to be possession by possession. Try to get a stop. Try to chip away at this lead. Make it close down the stretch.
So fourth quarter underway. Humboldt moves right to left on the radio dial as they have the basketball right now, leading by 13 points. Ben Helmers has scored 24 for Algona, but Humboldt has been bounced offensively across the way towards Flaherty. Flaherty working, Flaherty pivoting, swarms the elbow, and he gets it outside to Madsen. Back to Flaherty on the wing. Another free, look out, but it's short, and Mansky rebounds and gets into the fast break. Mansky into the lane, shovels it corner pocket to Helmers. Helmers denied at the baseline by Carlson, as now he'll work patiently on this move. Helmers fading, jumper, in and out. Mansky almost had the rebound, but it's off his hand.
Boy, that was tough.
Davis outlets to Madsen. Backs up for a 3-point shot. Madsen sticks it from the corner.
Oh, those are little flips right there, just little things. Bulldogs looked like they're going to have a score and just wouldn't go down. And the Wildcats go down and hit their 13th three of the night.
This Wildcat attack is relentless. 57-41. And now Davis getting into the body of Campy that time to pick up the foul. Davis picking up a second personal. He'll check out. Dodd will come back into the game. Jackson Flaherty as well for Humboldt as Chase Flaherty goes to the pine. Boy, did Chase Flaherty have a big third quarter. 9 points off the bench for the Wildcats as he takes a seat. 57-41 right now, Humboldt. 6:59 left here in quarter number 4 as Eischen gets a quarter to Helmers. Helmers working the dribble against Van Pelt as will get the Mansky screen. Top of the arc, Helmers. Back to Mansky in the corner. Mansky, 3-point ball short. He followed his miss and he puts it up and in.
There's some fundamental basketball right there. Any young player, always follow your shot.
Yeah, stay after it, as Mansky did right there. Here's Van Pelt, 3 to answer, left it short. Mansky grabs that rebound, deadening off the front of the rim, and now Mansky tries to run. Flaherty with the poke away from behind. Mansky kept control of the ball, though, and he lays it up and in.
Well, there's an athletic move for you.
57-45. Mansky taking on a bigger role here in the fourth quarter. Boy, it looked like Flaherty was for sure going to get a steal on that, too, because he was coming from behind. Van Pelt in the lane. Van Pelt rises. Van Pelt from the mid-range. It's good, and it's 59-45 Humboldt. 3 Humboldt Wildcats in double digits, led by 13 points by Cohen Madsen. But Van Pelt now has 10 tonight as Campy bullies his way inside. Campy off glass, and he scores. And now the back and forth of an Algona versus Humboldt game is really getting going. 59-47 Wildcats. Dodd spinning inside, missed the right-hander. Got it back going outside to Flaherty. Flaherty in the paint, hit the spin move, threw it wildly into the backcourt. Helmers can chase this one down. Helmers going in. Helmers up and in. Ill-advised play by Flaherty, trying to just do too much and threw it into the backcourt where Helmers took it and got the 2 for Algona, down to a 10-point game as Humboldt takes a timeout of Coach Firm. It'll be a full timeout, 5:41 left in the fourth. Algona trying to fight back in right now, down by 10 on KLGZ 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
Back here at Algona High School, the Humboldt Wildcats 59 and the Algona Bulldogs 49, and we just saw a couple minutes of that frenetic back-and-forth action. The team's trading buckets here early in the fourth quarter. I'm Tyler Lance alongside Greg Stewart. 5:41 left here, Greg, and still a lot of possessions to go in this game as the Bulldogs trail by 10.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a turnover in that last one and made a basket out of it, so you made it pay off. That's what you need. Good defense here. Try to get a stop and then chip away a little bit more.
Algona showing a little pressure here in the backcourt. They'll back off just a touch here as the ball got inbounded to Matson. Oh, man, they almost had the steal there as Walker tried to jump that pass to Flaherty, but Humboldt gets it across half court. Ball gets shoveled to Matson. Matson trailing, free ball won't go. And Carlson chases down the loose rebound for the Humboldt offensive board. Wildcats have it back around the perimeter to Dodd. Dodd, corner three, and he rattles it in again.
Another crusher there. They missed that first one, got an offensive rebound and a second chance at it.
Those second chance opportunities are so key to what Humboldt does. They average just under 11 offensive boards per game this season, and they lead 62-49. Mansky inside, out to Helmers. Helmers free to answer, won't go, and rebound at the foul line by Van Pelt. Wildcat ball. Here's Matson for the Wildcats. 62-49 Humboldt. Trying to put away Algona here in the fourth quarter and sweep the battle of Highway 169. Dodd on the baseline. Defense left him behind, and Dodd scores.
Good decision by Dodd that time.
Dodd faked the pass outside. The whole defense bit on it, and he took it to the bucket to make it 64-49. Jackson Dodd with 11 points. Came in averaging just over 5 as Helmers wants to drive. Helmers getting inside, and they will call a foul on the play. A foul on the play as Flaherty set up inside, trying to draw the charge, but the foul will be against him, his second personal. And Helmers will shoot a couple of free throws here, sitting on 26 points right now. Over the past 7 games, Helmers is shooting about 72% from the free throw stripe, but missed on that first foul shot. Alley checks into the ball game. Walker checks out with 4:33 left. And the Bulldogs in the hole right now, 64-49. Second free throw for Helmers is short, and rebound is controlled by Van Pelt.
Bulldogs have missed 5 out of 6 free throws tonight in the second half.
Algona's been about a 62% free throw shooting team on the season. Like I said, some points left out there in the second half as Carlson pivots, but he got fouled on the play by Helmers, who was aggressively hunting out the steal with 4:18 left. That'll go as the second personal on Ben Helmers, first team foul on Algona this quarter. And Flaherty be the inbounder for Humboldt. Well, first match of the Bulldogs held Humboldt to just 6 three-pointers. That has not been the case tonight as the Wildcat trademark three-point attack has been on par.
14 tonight.
Man, after 15 the previous game against Iowa Falls Alden, as Helmers spins, lost the basketball out of bounds. It was not touched by Humboldt, and the Wildcats get it back.
Yeah, 14 out of 29, so just a tick under 50%. That's great shooting from outside the arc.
It certainly is from this Wildcat team that's taking the third most three-point shots in Class 3A. There's another free, but Flaherty too strong on that one. Evan Alley gets the rebound right along the boundary near side. Alley into the forecourt for Algona, working into the lane, explodes the bucket, drew the foul and almost put it down. It bounced on the rim a few times, but dropped off as Evan Alley will shoot 2 free throws. Flaherty picks up his third personal foul. Once again, that rim right at the bucket for Algona. It's been tough to get some of those point blankers to go tonight. Algona started slow tonight offensively, missing a lot of shots in the paint in the first quarter as Alley cannot make the first free throw.
Well, the free throw shooting just not helping the Bulldogs get caught up here. That's 4 straight misses and 6 out of 7 misses here in the second half.
Chase Flaherty replaces Jackson Flaherty
There
for
we go.
Humboldt. Allie splits on the pair, and the Bulldog deficit, at 14 points right now. Humboldt wings the ball into the front court to Van Pelt. Van Pelt with double digits, 10 tonight, after scoring 14 last time these teams matched up. Now Carlson, look out, 3-point ball. Carlson off the back iron, won't go, and Mansky sails in for the rebound. Mansky striding into the forecourt. Mansky spins, Mansky turnaround Jay from the lane, and he swished it.
That's a tough shot there. Had a turnaround almost midair. Nice job by Mansky.
And Coach Firm calls a 30-second timeout for Humboldt. 8 points by Mansky, and the Bulldog deficit right now at 12 points. And that's the thing, we talked a lot about this during the girls' game, with what Coach McLaughlin said for Algona. Hey, we've got to force Humboldt's shots to be very difficult ones. We don't want to give their shooters a lot of space. Well, that's kind of the philosophy for Humboldt as well. We know Algona's going to make some circus shots today. They have some great athletes, but we don't want them to have open looks. And that's the thing, when you're down by this many points, Bulldogs are working so hard for these tough shots that are somewhat low percentage. I mean, Bulldogs do have a good shooting touch in the mid-range, but those are tough shots to make to get back into this game.
Yeah, that last one by Mansky was really a difficult shot, but the Bulldogs have collected 5 field goals in the lane here in the fourth quarter, so they're getting inside, showing good quickness, getting inside against the Wildcats. We'll see if Coach Thurm maybe going to put the brakes on things here a little bit, try to lengthen these possessions.
Into the forecourt comes Matson for Humboldt. Wildcats up 64-52 over Algona right now. It's 4 players in double figures scoring for Humboldt, and another player at 9 and another at 8, so it's been very balanced tonight for Humboldt. Bulldogs have held Elliot Carlson just 10, but a lot of scoring all around as Carlson gets it into the corner to Dodd. Dodd free, and he swished it again. Jackson Dodd is in an otherworldly zone tonight, and he has 14 points.
Boy. And again, nice defensive effort by Algona. That's just crushing. You play hard for so long, and then they get a 3. And he stepped on the line.
Yeah, Halmers was trying to work his way under the bucket, but he stepped out along the baseline of 2:42 left. And Bulldogs certainly in big trouble here in the fourth, down 67-52.
15 three-pointers now by the Wildcats.
Wildcats have taken over 500 three-point attempts this season if you add tonight's total in, as Flaherty got hit across the face that time with 2:34 left. The second foul on Algona.
And Gavin Alley.
That'll be his first personal. And Carlson will be the inbounder. On the season, 44% of the Wildcats' shot attempts have come from three-point land, which almost seems low for Humboldt. There have been years where they've been shooting over 50% of the shots from 3 as Bulldogs steal the ball away. Burns gets it up to Helmers with 2:24 left. Helmers down to Mansky. Flaherty cuts in front, knocks it out of bounds, and it will stay with Algona. That's another thing about what Humboldt does defensively. Boy, they do such a great job of cutting into the passing lanes and being really aggressive, trying to jump everything. Because as we know, those turnovers can quickly lead to transition buckets, which is the other thing the Humboldt Wildcats love to try to do. 2:16 left in the fourth. Alley at the Bulldog logo. The poke away by Flaherty. Ball rolls loose, and it's picked up by Van Pelt. Flaherty having an excellent night off the Humboldt bench. Alley trying to steal it back in the backcourt. It's off his leg and out of bounds, though. That's down to 2:06 in this one.
Turnovers pretty even. I've got the Wildcats 16, Algona 15. Good defensive energy both ways.
Van Pelt gives and goes to Carlson, but a foul before that play can get going as the Bulldogs pick up their third team foul of the quarter.
Yeah, wasn't to stop the lay-in, but it was a good foul.
That'll be the third personal on Eischen as Flaherty inbounds on the far side baseline. 2:01 left, lobs into Dodd, who catches back to the bucket. And he'll get the ball to Carlson. Around the arc it goes to Matson as Humboldt does appear content to run a little more clock now as we're under 2 minutes left. Early in the game, I think they're shooting a 3 there at some point as Matson got hit hard by Alley, and a little extra glare and a couple of words exchanged between Matson and Alley after that foul. With 1:51 left in this one. Second personal foul on Alley. Up next, Bulldogs are going to play at home against Iowa Falls Alden on Friday night. Humboldt is going to travel to Webster City also on Friday night in their next contest. Carlson inbounds. Eischen able to reach around Van Pelt that time and bat it out of bounds with 1:50 left in the fourth. From in front of the Humboldt bench, it's inbounded by Carlson into the backcourt to Flaherty. Pursued all the way back there by Mansky. Shovels it outside to Matson, who was able to grab that pass that was a little bit outside of his body and prevent it from going over half court. 1:40 left. Van Pelt against Walker, gives it up to Carlson. Carlson trying to get downhill, got all the way to the rack and rolled it up and in. An explosive drive that time by Carlson, who has 12 points tonight. Coming the other way, Mansky tries to sidestep Dodd, and it got swatted out of bounds. Dodd protecting the rim for Humboldt, and the Bulldogs will keep it with 1:25 left. Mansky will serve as the inbounder from the far side baseline. Lob caught by Walker up top. He'll rotate it to Mansky. Left wing free, Mansky, that one off the rim, and Flaherty right there for the Humboldt rebound. 1:19 left, and Coach Firm saying, slow it up a little bit, guys. 62-59, or 69-52, that is. Van Pelt on the right wing, bounces the pass to Carlson with 1:07 left in this one. Wildcats have been dominant in the second half against the Bulldogs. Jump started by that 13-0 run to begin the half, and then Algona has not gotten it back into single digits since, besides a brief point where they got it down to 9 near the end of the third. Fouled by Algona, 59 seconds left. And Humboldt now in the bonus as Carlson will be shooting a couple free throws. Carlson, 78% foul shooter for the Humboldt Wildcats this season. As that first one will rattle and drop through, giving him 13 points tonight. This game was 32-31 in favor of Humboldt at the half. Wildcats now up by 18, 70-52, and make it 19, 71-52 as Carlson. Perfect from the foul line there. He has 14 points. Bulldogs have the ball back with 54 seconds left. It is Helmers. Helmers taking it towards the lane, hitting the spin move towards the left, going into the body of Van Pelt. Scoops it, can't score. Eischen able to fight for that rebound, though, and returns the ball into Helmers. Helmers spins left. He's swarmed by 3 blue jerseys. Powered it up and in anyways. 28-point night here for Ben Helmers, as it's a 71-54 score right now in favor of Humboldt. Lob goes up to Flaherty. Shot clock and game clock separated by 3 seconds as Flaherty gets it over to Dodd. And Wildcats bring it back outside beyond the perimeter with 22 seconds left. Looked like Helmers wanted to foul Carlson there, but didn't get a whole lot of him as he'll chase Carlson around the floor here for the final few seconds. And Humboldt will dribble some time here and take the shot clock violation. So Wildcats are going to take care of the Bulldogs today. 71-54 right now as Carlson drives in late, got to the rack, shot no good, and Mansky grabs the rebound. Outlets down the floor towards Burns. Burns is going to go up, and he's going to lay it in at the horn, and that'll bring the final score to 71-56. Humboldt with a big second half. They knock off Algona today, 71-56, and sweep the battle of Highway 169 with the win. Humboldt 13-6 in the season, 10-3 North Central play. The Algona 2-game win streak comes to an end. Bulldogs drop to 8-12, 5-7 in the NCC. We'll step aside for a timeout. When we come back, the final stats for tonight on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bankin at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs.